David, we're all aware of fair trade bananas in our supermarkets. Fair trade Kippot.
You could say it's a bit of a bananas idea. To give them credit, two young ladies, Poppy Borelowitz and Hannah Weisfeld, when they were running the Jewish Fair Trade campaign and the Jewish Social Action Forum about 4 years ago, thought we needed something creative and fun to get people engaged with the campaign. Fair trade is a very worthy idea, but sometimes you need to engage people creatively with it. So one of the products that people produce in the developing world that often they get exploited when they produce it is cotton. There's actually a great report by the Fair Trade Foundation called The Great Stitch Up, which goes into all the problems and exploitation in the cotton industry. And also because of some people's relationships, they've been to parts of India, a lot of fair trade deals with other parts of the developing world. And they wanted to have a product that was supporting a particular community and a cooperative in India. So these two things together led to the creation of Fair Trade Kippot. It's organic cotton as well. And the cotton is grown and spun by one women's cooperative and then crocheted by another women's cooperative. So it's doing a lot of good. And it started 4 years ago. We have things like fair trade bar mitzvahs and fair trade weddings, where people have fair trade Kippot personalised for these simchas. And over just 2.5 years, we've sold over 4,500 Kippot, generating around about £14,500 for these communities in the developing world. And even despite the economic downturn and the recession and everything else, spending on fair trade products is still increasing.
So would you say that buying a fair trade product is more expensive than a regular product?
That depends on the product. So Sainsbury's Basics tea, sugar and coffee is all fair trade. So you don't have to spend more to get fair trade. And from what I can see, the chocolate products that are on the market, from the big retailers, are not any more expensive than their non-fair trade counterparts. I assume that fair trade gold is more expensive, but I don't know. And our Kippot actually are quite reasonably priced. So if you buy one, it's £5. Well, if you go to the shops in Golders Green and buy a kippah, you'll spend between £5 and £10 on a kippah. So it doesn't have to be. That's partly because we're doing it as part of our campaign. We also have 42 fair trade synagogues, and we do stuff with schools to teach them about fair trade.
42 fair trade synagogues? 42
fair trade synagogues in the UK. And actually Golders Green United is just made a commitment to try and get their status within the next few months. So
can you explain fair trade synagogue?
So fair trade places of worship is part of the broader Fair Trade Foundation's campaign in the UK. I think there are 6,000 fair trade churches, so we've got some way to go, although proportionally we're doing okay. And it basically means 3 commitments: that you will source fair trade tea, coffee and sugar, you will source fair trade fruit where possible, and you will also, I think what's most important about the commitment you make as a fair trade place of worship, in our case a fair trade synagogue, is to teach the children as part of their religious education, for the rabbi to give sermons, to get the community engaged with what fair trade's about. And this is where I think what's exciting for us, because there is a real synergy, I think, between the Jewish values of tzedakah, the idea of charity as justice, and the whole fair trade idea. And we did actually produce a Jewish guide to fair trade, which all 4 of the synagogue movements got behind. We have fair trade synagogues from all of the 4 synagogue denominations, including some that don't affiliate as well.
If people want to purchase a free trade kippah, or perhaps want to find out about being a fair trade synagogue, how can they do that?
Great, they can go to www.fairtradekippot.org. They can follow Fair Trade Kippot on Twitter, and they can get engaged with the conversation. They can get engaged with the materials that we have. Like I said, we produced a guide that also includes Jewish text study, because there are a lot of rich wisdom in our tradition around how we treat workers, around how we approach business. This is not necessarily a new idea, actually. Lots of the religious traditions have got ideas around, equal measure, paying people what they do, how you'll be judged on your business dealings, all those kinds of things. So we've got that stuff. We've also got the practicalities, what's involved, step-by-step guides, ways to engage young people, ways to engage your synagogue leadership. All of that can be found online, as well as some really great case studies of what people have done. So there's lots there. And I'll just say the website again, www.fairtradekippot.org, or follow us on Twitter as well, @FairTradeKippot.
Okay, thank you very much indeed for joining Jewish Online Magazine.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, thanks.